Right. Pritam, welcome. Thanks for joining up. Okay, it looks like YouTube is working. I'm going to talk about why guest posting will change soon, and I'm going to say, like, in the next, I don't know, like 6 to 18 months or so. As I mentioned, my voice is kind of going away, so I'm probably not going to try and talk too long today. So we'll get into it again. If you're just joining on YouTube, thanks for joining up today. We're going to talk about guest posting a little bit. I got Raphael. Thanks for joining. Let me know where you're from, by the way. Give thumbs up if you can. Okay, I'm just going to get into it today since we've already had technical difficulties. So basically, guest posting has been talked about quite a bit for I guess a few years since I started online, which was about 4 years ago. And I see more and more people are joining, so just let me know where you're from. If you have questions, feel free to ask. I may not be able to answer them today with my voice, but I will try to answer as well as I can. And I see Sweden, New York City. If you have questions, ask in the comments. I'll come back later and answer them. So cool. A lot more people joining up on the Facebook side, which is awesome. Okay, so we're talking about why guest posting is going to change soon. So guest posting has been very popular here in the last, I would say, 3 to 4 years, and even before that, it was a very popular way to market and to get backlinks. Well, I think many people have said this, but Gary Vee most recently is where I heard it. But marketers ruin everything, right? So as marketers, which we are, is like niche site owners and people that are content marketers in general. But marketers ruin everything because if something works, we try to do it at scale. We try and do it more and more. We try and get more efficient. We're all working on this. We're actually all getting better at guest posting in this case. So what happens is, I learned about guest posting from people like Neil Patel and like Brian Dean. So basically those guys and several other people, of course, were advising people how to do guest posting. They were essentially distributing templates to help people. They were telling people how to do it more effectively and how to do it faster and more often. And then, another generation of people came up, like myself, who implemented that and put a little bit of a different spin on it, although it's pretty closely the same as what, people have been doing for a few years. However, there's been such I guess, interest in doing it through like courses like mine, 5 Figure Niche Site, or like Authority Hacker, or I'm trying to think of some other courses that are out there. Actually, I guess Brian Dean's SEO that works. A lot of it is based on guest posting and outreach at scale. There's other people like Ryan Stewart who also like scales outreach. And a lot of it is done through the use of tools and systems and then templates to help automate the process. And the thing is, like, here's the problem, right? So marketers are ruining everything. I have a few websites myself, and I'm receiving templates that I have shared with people. I'm receiving those templates in emails back to my own site. So at the point where I'm like distributing templates and sharing it with people, and then I get those templates back with people pitching me to guest post on my site, like I know it's sort of run its course, right? So it's getting to a point where people are using tools like a mail merge app. They're using more sophisticated tools like Ninja Outreach or BuzzStream. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, so BuzzStream, I've used both of those. And then with the mail merge programs, I mean, there's free mail merge like extensions that you could use with Google Apps so that you can, use templates. You could have automatic follow-up, and you could train a VA to do it. So you could have someone working offshore for a very economic price where they're making good money and you're not having to do the work yourself, and they could send out hundreds of emails per day, right? So they could send out hundreds of emails per day, and then there's follow-up emails that are sent. Um, and I mean, it's straight out of the playbooks of Neil Patel, Brian Dean. There's some ideas in that in my course. However, right, so the things that are going to change, right, so it's going to change for the reason that so many people are getting these pitches, right, and I'm sure actually people out there that are watching on YouTube and on Facebook, um, have you gotten these pitches yourself? And what do you do? I mean, you usually delete them, right? Because they're a lot of times the quality of these pitches are not good. They're using the exact templates that you've probably seen from me. Um, so anyway, it's interesting that that's happening. The other thing that's happening is I think it was like a week or two ago. We were having one of these sessions just like this. People were asking about what I thought of the new Google press release about guest posting. At the time, I think it came out that morning. At the time, I had no idea what they were talking about. I looked at it later, and from my perspective, it looks like marketers are ruining everything. So Google is realizing that people are guest posting at a scale where they're maybe publishing the same or similar articles across multiple guest posts, which I have to say I've actually done that about 12 to 18 months ago. I've actually done that where I've built some relationship and then I've pitched similar ideas. So maybe it's like I always pick up a device near me so I don't out anyone's niche, but it's like great pilot pens to use for post-it notes, and then maybe I pitch another guest post where it's like great pilot pens for journaling. So pretty similar, but not exactly the same. So that's one aspect that Google mentioned in that press release. They said, if you're publishing similar articles in a lot of different sites, that looks a little funny. The other thing is around anchor text and like really sort of commercial anchor text, which is like keyword rich, which it has like for a long time that's kind of been a no-no, like to have your anchor text too rich, especially if you were running a gray hat shop and you're doing gray hat SEO, meaning you're violating terms of service from the Google Webmaster Tools terms of service, I guess. So if you're doing that and you are I totally lost my train of thought there, but basically if you are using anchor text that is like way too rich and you're doing gray hat stuff, well, there's like two red flags, and people ended up getting penalized for various reasons by doing that. Now, if you're doing guest posting, you can be a little bit more aggressive, but for me, usually I like long phrases that are partial match as far as like the keyword that I'm like trying to build links for, essentially. So what people were doing, and that they're currently doing, they'll get guest posts, and then they'll just be way too aggressive with their anchor text. Now, I know if you look at some of the case studies in